All right, hello there. So let's go ahead and work on this review sheet here. So on the test, we're just starting to do quadratic formula just recently. So on the test, you're going to have three choices on solving quadratics. You will have solving by factoring, solving by square roots, and then you will have solving with the quadratic formula. I'm going to tell you to solve by the quadratic formula if that's what I want to see. But the solving by square roots and solving by factoring, you might have to choose which one to use. So let's look at that. So look at these problems, these four up here. Notice how this has x squared and this has x. This has x squared only, x squared only, x squared and x. So all the problems that have x squared and an x, no matter where they are, we are going to have to be using factoring. Right? So this guy factoring down here as well. But if it has only x squared, then we're going to be able to isolate the x squared and use square roots on that. That'll be the easier way to go. You might still be able to use factoring, but it'd be definitely easier to just do square roots. All right, so this guy here, factoring, everything's already on the left-hand side, so let's get to factoring. I'm going to have to put 2 times negative 6 in the top, so negative 12. Remember, I'm multiplying this over here. So let's see, in the bottom goes negative 11. So let's use negative 12 plus 1. So negative 12 times 1 is negative 12, and negative 12 plus 1 is negative 11. So when I factor this, I'm going to get x minus 12 and x plus 1. But remember, this is like the fake answer. I still have to divide these things by the 2 that I multiplied. So 2 here and 2 there. So my factoring for this problem is x minus 6 and 2x plus 1. So let me fix that a little bit. It's a little bit small inside there. 2x plus 1. All right, so then I set these equal to 0. X minus 6 equals 0, which gives me an answer of 6. Over here, 2x plus 1 has to be 0, maybe, and I take away 1. 2x equals negative 1, and so my answer is negative 1/2. All right, over here, number 2. This only has x squared, so I'm just going to add 20 to both sides, get the x squared alone, so x squared equals 20. Now I'm going to take the square root. So the square root of x squared is x, and I get plus or minus radical 20, but this needs to be reduced down. So 20 is 4 times 5, and 4 is 2 times 2, so I'm going to bring out a 2 and leave a 5 inside. So plus or minus 2 radical 5, and that's finished. Same thing on number 3. We're just going to go for the square root method. Take away 5. Got 3x squared equals 72. 72 divided by 3, let's see, that's 24. Okay, so now I'm ready to take the square root of both sides. So my answer is plus or minus radical 24, but that's suspiciously large, so let's break it down. 6 and 4, 3 and 2, and 2 and 2. Well, I got a pair of 2's here, so I'll bring out a 2 and leave the 3 and the 2 inside, so leave a 6 inside. So 2 radical 6. Okay. Now remember, you could graph these to check out your answers, especially this guy right here. This is ready to graph. You could graph these on your calculator, and on your calculator you should see it crossing at 6 and negative 1/2. It should be a nice parabola crossing in those places. X squared minus 20. You could graph this. It's going to look like this. You should see it crossing at positive 2 radical 5 and negative 2 radical 5. So you'd have to go in your calculator and see what 2 radical 5 really is, but you could do it, like what decimal it is. All right, over here, number 4. It has that negative 19x on the other side. So this one's going to have to kind of come over and be in the middle, because remember we want this format, ax squared plus bx plus c. I want that format. So I got 3x squared plus 19x plus 20. Oh, so everything's positive. All right, so let's make our factoring. 3 times 20, because I have to multiply here times here. 3 times 20 is 60, so kind of a big number, and then 19. So let me think for a minute. 12 times 5 is 60, but 12 and 5 aren't 19. 20 and 3, oh my goodness. 6 and 10, no. It's all positive. So something that adds up to 19. I'm sure it's obvious. I just can't think of it. 10 and 6. No. All right. 5 and 4. Hang on one second. I can't think for a second. Oh my gosh. 15. There it is. 15 times 4. Sorry. I just had to work backwards a little bit. It's hard to think of those things. But remember, on your calculator, I told you you could go to y equals on your calculator and type in 60 divided by x, and that would give you all the things that multiply to 60. Maybe I should have done that. But anyway, 15 times 4 is 60. So I'll use 15 and 4. I don't have to change them. So that factors into, I will go ahead and write x plus 15 and x plus 4. But remember, I multiplied by 3 earlier. So I have to divide by 3. So my actual factors are x plus 5 and 3x plus 4. All right, so just like in number 1, you set these equal to 0. X plus 5 equals 0 gives us an answer of negative 5 when I subtract 5. And 3x plus 4 equals 0. I take away 4, divide by 3. I get negative 4/3. All right. Okay, so we do have our quadratic formula right up here, and our discriminant. Remember, the discriminant is the part that's inside the radical, so you can think of that as its own little thing right there, if you like. So we're going to figure that out as we go. So this is already set up. It's in the proper format. A is 2, B is negative 5, and C is negative 1. So this spot over here is for the discriminant. Remember, the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. It's the part underneath the radical. So let's just figure that out now. B squared. So I got negative 5 squared minus 4. A is 2. C is negative 1. All right, so I got 25 minus 4 times 2 times negative 1. So you can pop that in your calculator or realize that it's 25. Over here, a negative 4 and a negative 1 will be a positive, and then 4 times 2 times 1 is 8. So I get a 33 there. Okay, so now I'm ready for my quadratic formula. So x equals big fraction, opposite of b. So that would be a positive 5 plus or minus the square root. Well, the nice thing is I have a 33 is for my discriminant. And the bottom, I do 2 times a, so 2 times 2 is 4. And I am finished because radical 33 does not reduce, so we're done. All right, over here, I have to move that negative 5x in the middle there. So this becomes 4x squared plus 5x minus 8 equals 0. So now I'm ready to say 4 is my A, 5 is my B, and C is negative 8. So let's figure out the discriminant. B squared, so 5 squared is 25, minus 4 times A is 4, and C is negative 8. So again, I have right here, you see, a negative and a negative. So this is going to be a positive in the middle. So it's going to be 25 plus, and let's see, 4 times 4 times 8. So that would be 16 times 8. It's 128. And 128 plus 25 is 153, which is actually a prime number. Nothing goes into 153, so 153. All right, so here we go. So my quadratic formula is x equals big fraction, opposite of b, so negative 5, plus or minus a square root. I got that 153 already, over 2 times a, so 2 times 4 is 8. And that is finished. All right. So the next page here. So we're back to using factoring or square roots. So let's bring everything together. So minus 2x, minus 2x. So these are harder because everything needs to be put together. So let's see, that'll be x squared minus 9x. And then, you know, I noticed that I could just add 3 at the same time. So let's just do that and get plus 8. Okay, let's factor. What multiplies to 8 and makes negative 9? Well, negative 8 and negative 1. So this doesn't need any dividing, so I'm just ready to put it. X minus 8 and x minus 1. So my answers are 8 and 1 because that's what would make this and this this expression 0 and that expression 0. All right. Okay, so it says write these in a solution set. So if you wrote the answers, you'd put 8, 1 in a little bracket. And on the other pages, same thing here, 6 and -1/2. And over here, I could just put plus or minus 2 radical 5 in a solution set. And let's see, down here in a solution set, plus or minus 2 radical 6. And down here, -5, -4/3. All right, here, 5 plus or minus radical 33 over 4 in a bracket. And here, -5 plus or minus radical 153 over 8 in my brackets. All right, so this one's ready to go. Let's try our factoring, because I do see an x in the middle. So 10 times -1 is -10, and I got a 3. So what multiplies to 10 and makes 3? I need 5 and 2. I'm going to have to need 5 minus 2 to make 3 and also make -10. So when I factor that, I'll get x plus 5 and x minus 2. But remember, I have to divide these by this 10 right here that I moved over. So 10 here, 10 there. All right, extra tricky here. This is x plus 1/2, and this one is x minus 1/5. So when I go up here to put my factors, I will have 2x plus 1, and over here 5x minus 1. And just do a quick check, 2x times 5x, oh yeah, 10x squared, I got 1 and 1, make -1. And the outside is -2x, the inside is positive 5x, that's why we got 3x in the middle. Okay, all right, so my answers are easy now. 2x plus 1 equals 0 means my answer is -1 over 2, because I take away 1, divide by 2. This guy, 5x minus 1 equals 0. I add 1 and divide by 5. My answer would be 1/5. All right, so solution set, -1/2 and 1/5. And over here, solution set, oh, I already did that one. All right, last little bit right here. So let's label up this parabola. This is on, oopsie, it's on the right side, going up. It's left side, going up. Okay, and my vertex is the point 1, -1. All right, so the vertex, I got 1, -1. My domain is from -infinity to infinity, because that's the smallest and the largest x value. My range is, oopsie, on a bracket from -1 on up. Okay, increasing. So the increasing portion of this graph is this whole side, right? It's this whole the right side right here. So it starts at 1 and it goes off to infinity. So that's why we will say from 1 to infinity. Remember, we use the x values of our coordinates. Then the decreasing is the other side. So it's going from 1 back to -infinity. So we got to put -infinity first and then 1. X-intercepts, well, it looks like it's crossing at 0, 0, 0, and also at 2, 0. Those are coordinates. The y-intercept, 0, 0. So the origin is both an x and a y-intercept. And behavior, well, look, they're both going up. And my equation. So remember, for an equation, you need parentheses with a square to make your parabola. This thing has been moved to the right 1 and down 1. So we are going to put in here x minus 1 to go to the right and -1 out here to go down. All right, some function practice here. So for functions, we have all these different operations. So here's my 3 functions, here, here, and here, and then this is just going to tell me to do stuff with them, all these different things. Okie doke, so f of 6. So I'm going to get this guy, and I'm going to plug in 6. So -4 times 6 plus 5. So that'd be -24 plus 5, so -19. H of -4, so I'm going to do this guy. So 2 times -4 squared minus -4. I put parentheses. So -4 squared is 16. So this is 2 times 16. Over here, 2 negatives makes a positive 4. So I got 32 plus 4, so 36. Over here, this just means h of x minus f of x. Okay, so take h of x, which is 2x. All right, I don't think I have enough space there, so I'm just going to do it down below. So I have 2x squared minus x minus f of x, which is negative 4x plus 5. Okay, the first parentheses can just drop off. But the second one, it's like I'm giving this negative and I'm giving that negative. So the negative 4x turns into a positive 4x, and minus 5 is just minus 5 there. All right, combine like terms. 2x squared doesn't change. Negative x and 4x in the middle add up to positive 3x, because negative 1 plus 4 is 3, and then negative 5 just stays. Okay, letter D. So this just means f of x times g of x. So we are taking f of x, this guy, and multiplying it by g of x, this one. All right. All right, so let's do it. 4x times 3x, so negative 4x times 3x is negative 12x squared. Negative 4x times 2 is negative 8x. 5 times 3x is positive 15x, and 5 times 2 is 10. So when I'm done, negative 12x squared stays. Negative 8 plus 15x is 7x, and then plus 10. All right. G of f of x. So that means g is the boss. So g is right here. I'm going to write down 3 something plus 2. And in that blank space, I'm going to put f of x. Well, f of x is negative 4x plus 5. So now we're just going to work this out. This makes negative 12x. This multiplies to 15, and then plus 2. So when I'm done, I have negative 12x to stay, and 15 plus 2 is 17. All right, and then this last guy over here, let's see, we got g of h of 3. So I should figure out what h of 3 is first. So let me plug 3 into this problem. 2, 3 squared minus 3. So that's 2 times 9 minus 3. That's 18 minus 3. That's 15. So we have now figured out that h of 3 is 15. So now I plug 15 into g. So that gets me 15 going in here. So 3 times 15 plus 2. So it would be 45, 45 plus 2, so that would be 47. And that is